kind of annoying. The more the sun goes away, the less I want to have these sunglasses on, but it is what it is. Thought we'd go check out some of these smaller bodies of water a little more closely. Something to be aware of. I don't know if that's a moose or an elk or what that is, but it's not a deer. And I did notice over here in this little pond, had a lot of heavy hoof prints through here, and even like down there in the water. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some spots where something large has stood in this and had a drink of water, which mooses tend to do. I always have run-ins with mooses, so it makes me a little nervous. And you can see how much the wind is pushing everything around, rippling the water. So tomorrow we'll hike all through here, over there and beyond. Just really enjoy a nice little exploration of the area. Do a lot more filming than I was able to today. I can only be up here until I have to leave. I have to be in my car at 2 p.m. to pick up my little boys by 4 on my way home for Father's Day. I don't know where those frogs are. They've quieted for the evening, but they typically hang on to vegetation like this. So I'm not quite sure where they're hanging out. Maybe over there. Isn't that beautiful? It's amazing. People forget that places like this still exist. They get so caught up in the city and personal responsibilities and forget to take time out. This is like a snake. It goes around there and up there. But you can hear the water coming down from up higher through these rocks. You can see, I don't know, that looks like an even better water source right there. Watch your step. When I was a kid and I would come up here to my grandpa's cabin, I got really good at rock hopping. I used to jump from one to the other without even thinking. Now I'm a little less steady. I'm afraid I'm going to crack my head open if I miss a step. You can hear it down in there. So I think we'll refill our water right up here though in the morning. Isn't that beautiful? There's the moon. I can't zoom in very far, but there it is. About 3/4, it's waxing. Not a full moon, but hey, we'll take it. You can see over there on the mountains, the sun is still hitting over here. But we are, and over there, we're pretty much enshrouded right now in twilight. Oh yeah, we'll get our water from here. I wonder where it's coming from. It's coming down there like little steps. We'll cut across. I don't want to eat it. I kind of just want to see where all of this is originating. Can easily get our water right here. Prefer a flowing water source to a stagnant one for obvious reasons. Uh-oh, river crossing. Hope I make it. Oh, phew. All right, where is this coming from? Another river crossing. Must just be spring runoff. Although tomorrow I think is the first day of summer. It winds through there and back that way. Comes from up there somewhere. This is beautiful. Here's a campsite. This would have been more secluded, but I wanted to be somewhat near the lake. I didn't want it to feel like I was, you know, in the middle of nowhere. I could be anywhere. Our lake is right there. Camp is right down there. I think we might explore up that way tomorrow as well. Kind of just see what's up there. I can see some snow. Snow patches on the rocks up there. So, anyway, stunning, isn't it? Love the Uintas. So do the mosquitoes. One thing that I really wish I had when I first got into backpacking, when most people do, they buy every piece of gear they can get their hands on. And then over time, you kind of learn what you need and what you don't. And sometimes you just don't use some of it and you forget you even have it. But one thing I miss that I need to remember, it takes up no space, it's lightweight, it looks ridiculous, but it works, is a head net. Goes over your head, the brim of your hat keeps it off your face. Mosquitoes don't typically bite my face and my head, but I'll tell you what, it would be nice to keep them off my face because they're going up my nose and in my ears, and it's kind of making me nuts. So even though I'm not getting eaten alive, I'm definitely getting annoyed alive. If that's a thing, that's not a thing. It is right now. So, you know what? I really just feel like exploring. So, let's go up that way. Let's go see what's up there. Work our way back down towards camp. Then tomorrow when we explore, we'll go down that way. I kind of know what's at the, what is that? What direction are we? That's west. So that would be the north end of the lake. There's a lot of meadows there. I think there's a pond over there. It's quite beautiful. Joe and I explored it. But I still want to kind of go that way and check out the west side of the lake. See what else there is to see over there, really. These trees look like they burned. How long do you figure that tree has been lying there? And look how big it is. It obviously lived a long life before it fell. Here, I'll give you an idea of the scale of this thing. So you can see kind of how big it is. It's been here a long time. Maybe my whole life, this has been laying here. So that tree's right there, and this one fell this way a long time ago. Look how it's broken down over the years. How many winters have worn this tree into pieces. It's mushy in the middle. You can hear it's not very dense. There's a clearing up here and like a little bowl right in there. Maybe there was a, spring runoff pond up here and this is what's left flowing down. But it could be coming down through all those rocks. It could be, I know Camas Lake is on the other side there. It could be one of the other lakes up in there just flowing down through the rocks, being filtered out. By the time I was a kid, my curiosity in the mountains has gotten the best of me. I always want to see everything and explore everything. My friend and I, back in high school, we would go to my grandpa's cabin and we'd go down to the Provo River, which runs through here. And we would literally hike down that river for miles. We'd end up hiking back to the highway and hoofing it all the way back to the cabin. It was pretty fun. We were exhausted at the end of every day, but amazing memories that I wouldn't trade for anything. Okay, so here's how it's flowing. You can see where we came from down there. Kind of snakes through here and goes right up there. Look at this meadow. It's beautiful. Mosquito got me right there. He didn't bite me, he just landed there. This is very boggy and swampy right here. A lot of hoof prints through it, so I think it snows a lot right here. Look at this bowl, it's just a big basin. So it probably fills with snow. There's even some right over here in the rocks. And in the spring is probably a huge pond full of frogs and wildlife. And then with the drought we're in, it being only, today's June 19th, we're already seeing the snow levels disappear. I gotta watch where I step. I really don't want to change my socks tonight. I'd rather change them in the morning. Anyway, you can see here kind of the remnants of the pond. Just that. And it's being fed through melting snow and maybe higher lakes. Look how clear. Isn't that amazing? It snakes through here and it's coming through those rocks. And it's amazing to me that the waterfalls that are back there that are way more impressive are coming from these little trickles of water. So it's definitely coming from up there somewhere, whether it's snow melting or a lake, but a lake would be much more impressive. So I think this is just the route that the melting snow takes every year. Look at this. It's literally flowing underneath this giant rock. I can't even fit it all in frame, it's so big. And it's flowing. Whoa! It actually gave way under my foot. Flowing right through here. It's coming down this way and going right underneath that rock. And you can see over time that rock has been sinking into the ground. And maybe one day it'll be all the way down like that one, or even this one. As you can see that it's been slowly heading that direction. These boulders are huge. There's the snow. The only snow I can see. And that's a patch. I don't really want to hike up there, but it's a patch about the same size as this boulder right here, which is pretty large. Maybe 8 feet by 10 feet. I don't know. So there's still some snow there melting. You can see that it just winds up through there. Anyway, beautiful. Now we know what's up here, right? There's Hayden Peak. Still got the sunshine on it. We saw that on our hike in. There's the tippy top of it. Still snow up there too. Anyway, let's hike back to camp. I'm being swarmed and it's making me nuts. Sacrifices I make to get good video. Like I'm not enjoying myself, right? Having a good time. Filming videos of incredible places. What more can I want? I think that little bugger was right in the middle of my forehead. I think what more I could want would be to do this for a living. I would love to follow my passion. Those passions have changed over the years. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a paleontologist. True story. Nod to Ross on Friends. It's actually what I wanted to be. Then I wanted to be a meteorologist. I wanted to be a weatherman. Not just the weatherman on TV, but also the one behind the scenes who studies the weather. And then when I was 14, I started playing guitar. And I formed my first band called the Goons. And we had no idea what we were doing. It was the most inept thing you've ever seen in your life. Hilarious, but fun. And then that band evolved into a punk band when I was 16. And when I was 16, I decided I was going to be a rock star. So I worked really hard at it. I had a band. There's me on guitar and vocals, and a bass player who also played some guitar and vocals. My late wife was the keyboardist and had an amazing voice. We played places all over Utah, well, all over, I would say, Salt Lake area. Shared stages with Green Day and Rob Zombie. Actually, it was White Zombie at the time, before he went solo. And not when I say shared stage, I mean we played in the same places. We weren't the opening act or anything. I never met those people. But those are the kinds of bands that were kind of up and coming before they really took off. And then, I got married, and my friend went one way, and I pursued my calling into fatherhood and being a husband and having to get a job. And I've pursued music all my life, but I don't anymore. I play my acoustic guitar quietly on my back porch. And if someone wants to listen, I'll play for them. But I really don't do the whole... I don't want to be a rock star anymore. I've grown up, and I realize those days are far behind me. I still have a love for and passion for music. But as I grew up and I had children come into my life, I learned to re-embrace the great outdoors and love the outdoors. And I found a new passion for it. I found a passion for video making, and that's become my chief creative outlet now instead of music. Even though music's still important to me, this is importanter. Anyway, now I'm older and wiser, and I don't need to be famous. I don't need to even be rich. I just need to be able to meet my needs and do what makes me happy. So that's a brief synopsis of my journey over time with my interests and passions. I've also written some books and just self-published. I love to write. I'm definitely a writer. I was kind of born into it. My mom was a writer. Her mom was a writer. Grammar's important to me, even though I talk sloppy and lazy with my Utah drawl that I have. Words are very important to me. I write poetry. I write songs. But you know what? Nothing beats standing here next to this babbling brook and being grateful for everything I do have. Well, we are back at camp, and as you can see, as predicted, the wind has stopped. Something crazy happens when the sun goes down. Isn't that amazing? Can't find that kind of quiet anywhere else. It's not as bright out here as the camera makes it look. It's a feature on this camera. When it gets dark, it makes it look like 3 in the afternoon. It's definitely dusk. State of Utah, actually the National Forest Service, has made it clear that fires are banned outside of an established campground where they've built a concrete and steel fire pit. On the drive-in, there was a sign that said extreme fire danger. There were signs saying no campfires. Well, guess what? Our friends up the hill have a campfire going. I do what I want. And then you burn down the forest. Why would you risk that? You don't have to have a fire. Another thing that annoyed me was somebody from down at Ruth Lake flew a drone over this lake just a little while ago. I'm sitting here enjoying the peace and quiet, and all of a sudden, I look up and they're filming me. They're over my head. Hey, look, a camper. I get that a lot of people use drone footage in their YouTube videos. There's a reason I don't, and I'm not judging you if you do, so don't take this the wrong way. But I come up here to get away from, unfortunately, technology. I realize I need it to film, but they're noisy, they're invasive, and I didn't come up here to be filmed by someone from their stupid drone. The other thing is, I try to make videos that make it feel like you're coming along with me. Not that you're getting necessarily a bird's eye view of the wilderness, but that you're down in it, hiking the trails, looking at the water, exploring the area, seeing wildlife, whatever it is. That's why I do this, and why I talk to the camera the way I do, so that it gives the viewer a sense of being here with me. I don't think drones do that. Drones, well, basically when I see a drone shot, I think of the Discovery Channel. It becomes less personal. And it invades people's personal space. Even those guys with the goats, when I first started this trip, that guy with the goats and his 2 little kids, I didn't film him or his kids. I just asked politely, can I film the goats? Is that okay? He was like, sure, go ahead. I said, I won't film you guys, don't worry. And he was like, that's fine. And so I filmed it the way I said I would. With a drone, there's no permission. You're just butting into somebody's private, personal space and making noise, and who knows what you're going to do with that video. It really annoyed me. I get it if you're out there all by yourself, you're making YouTube videos, you want drone shots, you know. I get it. I'm not against drones, but it annoys me when I come up here for peace and quiet and that happens. You know, to hear voices is one thing. I can hear people talking. If I talk any louder than this, they'll be able to hear me clear over there. Sound travels really well up here. I can smell their fire, hear them talking, I can hear them talking. For a while, the people with the campfire were also blasting music, just blasting it, and I couldn't even film. I couldn't listen to the birds or the frogs. I couldn't listen to the marmots in the rocks. I can hear them chirping once in a while. I had to just sit here and wait for them to turn that crap off. Now, I considered bringing a Bluetooth speaker, but I decided against it. I took one on my last trip, and I only used it in my tent at night, quietly next to my head, to help me go to sleep. And there were times hiking the trail there where I just turned on my cell phone. I keep a lot of music on my cell phone. Like I said, it's huge to me. So I have a huge collection of music on my cell phone, and I put it in my pocket and I listened to it while I hiked. Now, when I run into someone on the trail, or I see someone coming up the trail, I pull it out, I hit pause, I keep it quiet, I walk by, I say, hello, how you doing? and we keep moving, and then once they're out of range, I turn it back on. Because I'm respectful of other people's peace and quiet. So I'll get off my soapbox, but it really annoys me. That's there's garbage that you find on the ground, and there's garbage that there's noise pollution. And I came up here to get away from noise pollution. Anyway, it's too bad that people don't respect other people the way they used to. So the bear bag, changing the subject, the bear bag's in the tree. Not too far from here, but again, I'm having this same problem here that I had in Shingle Creek, and that's that a lot of these pine trees are they're spruces. They're not pine trees, they're spruces, and the branches are too thick to hang something from without them getting stuck in the tree. So I found a pine tree kind of over the lake. It's about, I'd say, anywhere from 12 to 15 feet off the ground, a couple feet out from the tree. I'm not too worried about it. I put my roll pack in there because I have espit cubes in there and they smell like fish. So anything that smelled is in there and up in the tree. I've eaten enough for the night. I've got some water out here if I need it. And by the way, this is doing fantastic. This is really warm. I wrapped it around me. Almost got too warm, and without it, there's a pretty good breeze. So, good investment. I don't know if they still make these. These were basically Snug Pack's answer to the military Whoopee blanket. And you might be able to get a Whoopee blanket in a Army-Navy surplus store for 60, 70 bucks. This was 40 bucks, I think, but I've had it for years and it still works great. One of my first solo trips, all I brought was a sleep pad and this and the tent. And I slept fine. It was warm. It'll keep you warm down to about 40 degrees. Temperatures tonight should be in the 40s. My underquilt on my hammock, I don't know if Outdoor Vitals still makes that either. I've had it a long time. It's the Airy 30. It's good down to 30 degrees, so no worries there. Works really well. It's down. It will keep me insulated. I'm going to hang the bug zapper right at the head of my bug net. So when I'm laying in there and they're trying to hover around my head, they'll at least get to the light, and we'll see what happens. So far I'm not impressed with that thing. It seems gimmicky, and it's not killing any bugs. Just the truth. So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm just going to sit here and think and look at this beautiful sunset over Hayden Lake. And then I'll climb in the hammock and we'll talk before I go to sleep.